It was March 2020, just about a year back. It just feels like a long time back. What a year it has been for survivors, for investors, even for financial planners. I want to share with you today a story of two people we met in March of 2020. Ahan and Yash, okay, names changed obviously. Both of them came to meet us last year in March 2020, just after the markets had fallen and the COVID-19 had struck us. And Ahan and Yash came from almost similar backgrounds. And quickly to understand, Ahan was married and he had a young child. His wife was also working. They were IT professionals, and they wanted. They were very clear about what they wanted. They came together. They were very clear: child education, retirement at least 50, 55, and these are various investments I've had. And we made a quick plan for him, said take some basic insurances and get going with some investments through systematic regular investments. So he did some little research and he got started almost immediately, and we were on it quickly. But Yash was a different story altogether. Right. So he had done a lot of research. He had actually met two, three other financial planners as well before he came to meet us. And he'd done some investments. He's had some bad experiences. He came with some concerns. Of course, he did have objectives of retiring early, and they were planning to start a family. So he wanted a proper financial plan, all the numbers crunched and all of it done, which we got done for him over, it took us almost 3-4 weeks to get it done because he wanted it all perfect. The changes here, changes there. So we got them all done. By then, what happened, we missed already 2-3 weeks. And then he came up with what if scenarios. He said, what if they have a child next year and his wife stopped working? What if they relocated to another country? So we were working on the plan itself for almost 3-4 months. And by then it was August 2020, markets had recovered and they were really running up very fast. And there was this big doomsday predictions made by experts saying there's going to be a double dip and these are unsustainable valuation levels and all of that. And he got scared. He thought, okay, no, now is not the time. He said, I'm going to wait for a correction, 2-3 months, let's wait. So we cooled it off. And then again, he came back saying, okay, you had recommended a few schemes, but I hear this particular fund manager, there's some problem with him. It then turned out to be fake news, but we had missed the bus. Then we reached out to him again in December and asked him, we did the plan and we are not acted on it. We are losing a lot of time. So let's get going with this. So I said, okay, yes, we'll do it. 2021, new year. And, he said, we'll get started. Then came the second wave. So second wave, he again froze. He was scared. He didn't take action. So, we kind of stopped following up with him, and that was his story. So in the last 1 year, so I'm talking 1 year and about 2 months, now we had Ahan, who's already saved up money. About 7 odd lakhs is what he had invested from all the savings that he had done during the lockdown. They weren't traveling, they weren't eating out much, so he could afford to do that. And that 7 lakhs was worth about 9 quarter lakhs in the last 1.5 years, 1 year and about 3 months. But more importantly, he has seen one nice cycle in the equity markets. He put his cash flows in order. He's gotten into some discipline about investing. He's got some basic insurances and risk protection done. And he appeared a lot confident about his future than when we met him. While Yash is almost where we've left him where we met him. So he hasn't progressed. He's still worried. And, he's potentially missed an opportunity to build something like about 2.5 crores in his lifetime by delaying the decisions by about 1 year. Now, what is really happening here? So what Yash went through was what we call analysis paralysis. Right, analysis paralysis refers to a situation in which an individual or a group is unable to move forward with a decision as a result of overanalyzing data or overthinking a problem. So you look at it as a problem and not really viewing the solution. Back in the day, of course, lack of information was a barrier. Today, abundance of information has become a barrier. Now, how can you deal with analysis paralysis? Number one, diversify. Don't diversify. Yes. So when you diversify, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. You have a plan, and you are diversifying your risk by investing in different places. You may not make a killing, but you won't get killed as well. So it's important for us to remember that there are 100 different ways of investing and 1,000 different options. You can't go on every single ship. You just have to pick one that works for you. Number two, remember that there is no holy grail to investing. There is no one blueprint that everybody can use and become wealthy. It doesn't work that way. A 22-year-old's portfolio might do a lot better than a 50-year-old's portfolio, but the 50-year-old person might just be very happy with what he's got because it serves his purpose, right? So what works for you is what you have to pick up and get going with that. And lastly, you can outsource and trust, because if you try to replicate what experts have been doing for years, in your portfolio in a few months, you are likely to be affected by analysis paralysis. I'm not surprised at all. So, find somebody you can trust, do your due diligence, do your researches, which is all amazing. But the moment you have trusted someone, go with the recommendations and take action, right? It is if you take one step forward in 10 different things that you're thinking of, and one step forward will take you far, far ahead than getting it all right. Done is better than perfect. So how are you dealing with your investments? Are you being Dahan or are you being Yash? Share with me in the comments below.